All right, I guess we're live. Somebody in the chat, in the StreamYard chat here, tell me if y'all can hear me or not.
I'm still dealing with something, but I can hear you.
Okay.
So, hello everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Madness. I'm kind of in and out for a minute. So, Stacy's the host.
I've been called worse.
Well, we can call you Boss Man, but I don't know if you'd like that too much.
No, I'm the boss of one person. That's me. Y'all give me a second. Let me see if I can get some chat pulled up here.
Yeah, I am, Jay. I'm sorry. I just got like 5 things going at once for some reason. Never fails in the middle of trying to do something, and then everything kind of hits you all at once.
All right, I'm not echoing, am
I don't hear an echo.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. It's been a while. A couple weeks, a week or two anyway. Greg, I'm gonna talk for a few minutes, so
Yeah, I'll just mute this. So
do
I
what
got
you gotta do.
something burning anyway. I'll be right back.
All right. Got 7 people in here. Anyway, I'm gonna go and say what I need to say, and y'all can pass it on. We're trying to bring Small Engine Nation back. We kind of left it alone for a while, and there were some things that happened between some people, and it got to be a little too much to handle. I got tired. Craig got tired. The founders, we just all got wore out. You know, what Small Engine Nation was designed to do was to be a community of like-minded people, primarily small engines, but hell, we got off into computers and coins and everything else, and it kind of grew, and at one point it was pretty large. It was a pretty big thing, man. It's a pretty big deal. I can go just about anywhere on YouTube, and people know who I am, and they know about Small Engine Nation. And you know what? To have started with 2 guys, myself and David Johnson, an idea that we just had talking on the phone one night. This is pretty impressive. It's been going on almost 2 years now, and there's people still wanting to participate. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it would last 3 months, be over with. But I'm glad to see everybody here. Some of the newer guys, I'm not gonna say really younger guys, but some of the newer guys to Small Engine Nation are starting to step up. Lucky, 7 mud mowers, Polar Bear Ed, BS Small Engines, Brandon. There is a Hot Rod 21, Kathy. There's a lot of people really stepping up, and I can't tell y'all how proud I am of you guys, man. It's just to go from an idea to what it is right now is it's pretty humbling. And the original setup for this was to take the small channels, shout them out, get them growing and all of that. Well, I want to change that a little bit. Some people may agree with me, some people may not. If you don't, I don't control anybody's channel. I don't tell them who to watch. I don't tell them where to go. I don't tell them how to do their live stream. Just a suggestion. But I still want to focus mainly on the small channels. But the guys that are over 1,000 monetized, whatever, they're the ones doing the shouting out for the small channels. Well, your smaller channel, do the same thing for the bigger channels. I mean, it's everybody supporting everybody. That's how it was intended to be, and that's what I'd like to see. Like I said, I'm nobody's boss. I'm nobody's dictator, or you know. I just want everybody. I want everybody to get along. If you want to be part of it, great. If you don't, you just want to check in on what we're doing, that's great too. Um, Also, when this deal started, I said I wasn't going to alienate anybody. Well, the only people that have been removed from Small Engine Nation per se have taken shots at members or caused undue drama, undue trouble, or whatever, or they have asked themselves, personally asked me to remove them from Small Engine Nation. Trust me, if if you ask me to remove you from Small Engine Nation, you will be removed. Team Machine, I don't know what all that's about, but I hope that's not an issue. I hope that's just something fun. But anyway, you guys mean the world to me. I no longer drive anymore. I'm not in a truck, so I don't have the what am I looking for? I don't have as much time available to me to go live or do as many videos and stuff as I used to. But I'm trying, I'm trying to focus more on the videos than I am the live streams. But Lucky, thank you for what you're wanting to do with the lineup and stuff. That, hey man, get my email address from Craig and stuff. You can go ahead and put me on your list. But I would like to see, like I said, the smaller channels shouting out the big ones shouting out the small ones, and everybody supporting everybody, and let's get back to having fun, man. Screw all this drama. Guy I've known quite a while would say the haters. Matter of fact, I have a sticker of that on my motorcycle. Believe it or not, Lucky, I'll send you a picture of that someday. Y'all just, I mean, let's just all take care of each other. We had it at one time. Small Engine Nation was the rockinest thing on YouTube, as far as I'm concerned, and I'd like to see it get back to that. Tractor, you going with me wherever I go, brother. Yeah. Yep. Loosen the wheels. Who's driving tonight, Ed? Anyway, when Craig gets done doing what he's doing, I'll let him send some invites, because I'm not too good at that, and I don't particularly want it put on put out there so that everybody can get it. if y'all see me looking over here, my iPad is sitting right here, and that's what I'm doing is reading the YouTube chat because it doesn't all show on my screen. 2020 is going to be a good year. Yep. A lot of you know that I got into the metal casting and metal pouring thing, and I'm gonna be making a few things for Small Engine Nation people to give away, and um, this is not one of them, but this is a bar that I poured, and I'm gonna make some not bars, but some other stuff to give away. My wife and I are getting a small. We're gonna set up a small T-shirt thing. T-shirt, not really business, but I'll be able to make stuff for Small Engine Nation and stuff like that. Anyhow, Craig, send out some stuff to get some more people on this panel. I'm sure everybody's tired of listening to me talk.
Oh no, we're not tired of listening to you talk, Stacy. It's good to have some FaceTime with you, brother. I know everybody's been open to have that and try to get a little bit back into a little bit more of a center of focus with things. And I think we're going to get there. It may take us a little bit to do that, but we've got a lot of people bringing a lot of great ideas. And, it's important because it's a full-time deal for everybody. So Dino Machines is a good guy. He's been around for a long time, and he's been a pretty good supporter of ours. So
yeah, I know Dino. I seen the little finger flying around there and was curious about that. David Carlisle. I'm working on stickers. Matter of fact, Craig, you're not going to believe this, but I found 12 sheets of the original Twisted R Racing and Stacy Reed stickers.
Good. I want a sheet.
Well, I didn't cut them up into individuals, but I'll send you some.
Save me one at least. I want one at least one, if not two.
They're the originals of the first one. But yes, David, I am working on some stickers. Finally starting to get some people up here. Y'all hang on the wall, man. It's getting behind the wheel. There he is.
I'm really into how to get up there.
How you been, Jay?
I've been busier than a one-armed paper hanger the last since about Thursday. I've been wide open.
Hey, I know how it feels. I've been like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, and I'm getting it done.
Yeah.
Thursday, I went and picked up a four-wheeler. Friday, I paid bills and then went and lined up a couple things, future projects. Saturday, I went and got all my wood and all for the roof of my shop. What I do yesterday? Tried to recuperate and then ended up having to run ragged and carry my brother and show him a few things. Got him lined out on a couple things he's wanting to do for his house. And then been getting things worked around so I can try to start putting that roof on that building to hopefully in the next few days if it don't start raining, which they say we're supposed to start getting rain tonight.
Somebody said something about the beard. Somebody said something about beards on the screen. Let me tell y'all, there's enough hair on this screen to make a blanket.
And there's enough hair off the screen to make a couple blankets.
Mine's just now getting back the way it used to be before I got a wild hair and cut all of it off, and then it looked like I was a naked mole rat. No,
Well, I got a message from YouTube about me smoking hear my live stream. So that's why my camera's turned off. So whenever I like one, I'll
Smoking on live. I see people smoking on live streams all the time. They got
somebody complained.
Lord have mercy. Somebody so ticked off at their own life they got to complain about somebody else and ruin their fun.
Well, it is what it is. Let them do what they're gonna do. Hey, Shaw, how you doing? Everybody in the chat. I usually shout everybody out in the chat, and I hadn't done that tonight.
What's going on, firefighter?
I see a bunch of new people in here to me. Firefighter. I've talked to Cheryl before.
Shaw's Prospecting. I've seen that name before somewhere.
Yeah, I watch him all the time, man. He like goes out and prospects for gold and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's some cool stuff he's got going on there.
Hey, Cheryl.
There's Lucky.
That's Cheryl right there in chat. That's a strong woman to put up with that man sitting right there on the screen.
Yeah, definitely. She puts up with a lot of bull with me.
Yeah, but she got a lot of love for you.
Oh, yeah.
She has to. She has no choice.
You guys that don't know each other, y'all check each other out, and that's how we grow.
Well, I don't know how my schedule's going to be able to go, whether I'm going to be able to do much streaming on Thursday nights.
We could always change it up and do a different day, Jay.
Well, I got so much stuff I'm having to do here lately that I don't know when I'm really going to have time to stream.
Hey, old car guy.
Hey, Jason, how you doing, brother?
Well, I'm gonna do my best to get back on my Monday and my Friday.
Cool.
If I personally don't do a live stream, I will see to it that somebody covers my spot, whether it be Lucky or Craig or Ed or somebody,
I'll be honest with you. I appreciate you offer, but I'd rather have you up there.
Sometimes,
I'll be honest with you. I missed the old Small Engine Nation with you guys. I said this to Kathy last night when on her stream. The grandfathers. Yeah, you guys. I miss those streams.
well,
especially with you, Ed.
But for those of you that don't know, I'm having surgery to get this cancer out of my shoulder Thursday.
Right.
And so there will be times that I just can't do it. I'm gonna make a conscious effort to try to get back on my at least Monday and Friday. Hell, I was live streaming 4 nights a week, man. You know how hard that was to do driving a truck?
I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Full-time job for several people.
I remember long conversations about all that.
You just remember what my father always told me. I always remember what my father always told me. All right. If you make something, it grows so huge. Just don't forget where your roots begun. That's all.
Yeah.
Well,
we rooted in the people.
Mike, any of these people that know me will tell you I'm the same today as I was yesterday, as I'll be tomorrow.
Good.
Hey, Lucky, would you post your email in the chat? Lucky's working on a credit banner for people and videos, and what we're asking for is for you to send him an email with the title of your channel, your YouTube channel, and your name, and he's going to work on a banner to add on to the end of videos and live streams. It's important you send him an email and make sure that you have the right channel name so that when people are able to view this credit screen, that they'll know how to find the channels that'll be listed on that.
It's going to be similar to like a credit. So if you watched like a good movie at the end, it has a credit and they have all the names, credit at the end of the movies. That's basically what it's going to be. And that's going to be all the YouTube names that's in the Small Engine Nation. So like myself has a bigger channel now. I've grown so much. If I put that at the end of my video, it's not going to be like a click on link. It's just going to have the names. But yet somebody's going to stop that video at one time and probably jot down a couple names to check out some other users, So I will post that link, but right now it's going to. Cheryl just posted it. There's my email. Feel free
Hey,
to
Boneyard.
send it.
Mike, I'd like to see something like a banner, like running across the bottom of the screen.
Well,
I think Mick is going to try to work on that, and we're going to collaborate between Mike and Mick and some other people to come up with some new ideas. So
the banner would be good, but for the transfer of the file on some of the softwares, it's kind of hard to be able to create a whole entire banner through the whole entire video whenever you produce it, because sometimes the video is not going to be long enough for that banner to go along the whole bottom of the screen. That's why I was thinking about a credit, because the credit you could actually have one frame, and as it goes up you could have everybody's name at the end. That's something that we could try to work on by having a banner, but again, some videos that produce will not have enough time to run that whole entire banner through.
Yeah.
well, I think that we'll be probably having some conversations about doing some channel setup videos to help some of the smaller channels get the full utilization out of their channel information and how they post videos and stuff. It's going to take a little time to work on this stuff. So, we're open to ideas, and that's what the Small Engine Nation Hangout box is for.
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No idea is a dumb idea unless you don't present it, or it's just like a question. If you don't ask the question, it's worthless to us. So
now,
people have ideas, all ears.
I came up with another idea too. Kathy usually does her time thing and lets everybody knows what time everybody's supposed to be on. Is there a possible way that she could be able to email that to the larger channels, and then at the end of our videos we could actually put that as well?
Yeah, and there's a way to download that video, Lucky. So we're working on that still. She's been working on it most of the day. So
I am not doing that until the end of the month when we get the back of people. Everybody decided where they want to be time wise. Jay said he might want to move now.
Oh yeah,
I have to redo that.
Yeah,
I want to be on a beach.
Yeah, some things like this is going to take time. Rome was not built in a day. So,
Neither was Small Engine Nation.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, Stacy.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, would you make Cheryl a moderator so she can post links and stuff?
Oh, I can do.
Cheryl looks at me like, me?
She posted Lucky's email on there, and it came back and asked for permission to post it.
Okay, Cheryl, shoot me the finger or something so I can see if it worked.
And just let everybody know, I posted a video link in Hangouts for Vegas editor on how to edit your audio quality. It's a real quick video. It actually works really well. I didn't know you could do it. My latest video had a lot of background and staticky, squealy noise. And if you watch the video now, it has virtually none.
Good. I watched the video, but I didn't listen to it because it was on the phone. So I'll go back and rewatch it again.
Oh, Craig, the video I actually shot when I listened to it on my computer, I almost didn't edit and upload it. It was squealy and whiny, and I went on and found a video that I think it's like a 8-minute video or 6-minute video or something like that. The guy gets right to the point, shows you exactly how to do it. I did it through my video, and it is 1,000% increase in quality. So
that's awesome.
No, Willie is not in the basement. Also, something else. some people may get ticked off at us for this, but before when we started this, anybody that came in that want to be part, they were automatically added to the Hangouts boxes and made moderators and all of that. There's going to be a trial period here, man, because we got screwed over so bad. I mean, there were a few guys that made my life hell for about a year. And, just be patient, I mean, we're not bad guys. We're not out to keep anybody out or anything like that. There's got to be some kind of trial period or something,
Not only that, but it takes a while to get everybody up to speed with all the different things that we're using, the social media platforms and everything.
Yep.
I think if we slow it down a little bit and we work with people a little bit more one-on-one, or have an ability to kind of get them up to speed to where everybody else is at, it makes the flow of everything else a lot better in the long run. And then people aren't scrambling to try to catch up to where we're at. We've had a whole year to work on this project, and we've worked on it pretty hard. I mean, Jay and Ed and Lucky and Nate, lots of people put a lot of time into this to get it to where it's at. It wasn't done overnight. So, and I'm thankful for everybody that's been a part of it from the start. It just, we want to make sure that we're giving everybody our best image so that they can present their best image to go along with what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Well,
Hey, Craig.
there was 77 people in Hangouts, and I only got 8 people that emailed me so far. So,
yeah,
it's going to take a while for me to get a good amount of people.
Yeah, lucky Craig will send you mine.
Yep, I heard. Yep.
Hey, Craig, did Kathy get that Hangout message I sent her?
Harold said, "Who is it taken away?"
I have no idea.
I guess maybe I need to get up on the screen so I can talk.
Oh, hey, is he talking about the sirens going off? Maybe
somebody getting a popo after him.
Maybe me. I'm hiding in my office. Oh, there's somebody in the bottom.
I can't stream from my office because that would be indecent exposure.
It can't be me because I live in a city. They don't send just one police officer. They send 10. They send 10. They send the whole force.
Live streaming, you hang out.
It can't be me because where I live at, they send one sheriff, and usually it takes them about an hour to get here, even if they're bleeding.
I've been to Ed's house, and that's no shit either.
Hey, Ed, you ought to feel good at just an hour. If they got to go out to my farm, it takes them 4.
Ed, say you live so far out that they have to pipe in sunshine.
Just about.
Hey, it must be
I like them places.
Hey, they had an accident down the road from me, and this is no crap. They had to call the city police come out and control the scene.
Oh.
They had the tow truck was there waiting. The person that was in the accident was already in the ambulance at the hospital and everything, and the sheriff finally showed up.
Hey guys, there's a celebrity in here, Ralph Trucking.
Ralph Trucking. How you doing,
What's
buddy?
going on, Ralph?
Y'all go check him out. He's a celebrity in my mind anyway. Ralph ain't new.
I didn't say it was
We've been watching each other for a long time.
Yeah, I had some excitement here Thursday night. I'm sitting in the living room and all getting ready. Just got through putting everything up because I grilled out Thursday night. Had the lights out, everything locked up, and all of a sudden I see red and blue lights flashing in my living room windows, and I'm sitting like, "Oh God, what is going on?" Go and open the door, leave the lights out, just open the door and look. And across the road in my friend's yard, the sheriff's department has a guy tackled in his front yard, picking him up. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. A couple of days later, I find out on the other road, they did a drug bust on his house, and the dude ran from the cops, and they tackled him in my friend's front yard, and I'm sitting there watching, laughing.
Guys, if y'all want to grow your channel and build your sub count, all that stuff. Rouse Trucking, that's the guy to watch. He helped me so much.
Well, he might like me anyways if he watches a couple of my live videos when I'm at work with the big tractor trailer truck tires. So,
Well, he's a truck driver.
Yeah.
Changing them tractor trailer tires ain't no joke. I've done quite a many of them myself.
I tell you what, I miss my truck. I miss trucking.
I do too.
Would you please tell Willie what box he's supposed to go through to get the link?
Tater, if you turn that mic on, we
I
can
haven't
hear
given the link yet.
So, anyways, it must be cold in Florida because I think that's the first time I ever seen Nate's garage door closed.
Well, there ain't nobody here, so
What's that? A shop light on a tripod, Nate?
I just bought that at Tractor Supply for $18.
Don't tell Lucky that.
Cool.
What is it?
That's a shop light
Oh, there you go.
Hell, I need to get
with
me
its own built-in tripod. I need 2 of them.
That's the one that he needs to put on.
Hey, that would be nice for like doing videos. Put that like behind the camera. See how much
Yep.
it gets off.
Hey, Nate, is that battery powered or plug-in?
2-hour rechargeable.
It'll run for 2 hours without being charged?
Yep.
Cool.
Hey, Craig, I'm gonna back out and let Willie come up for a minute.
Well, no, I'll go out and let Willie
I'll
come.
back out.
I can back out and let Willie in.
I'll be in the chat, guys.
Hey,
Look, you don't even give a man a chance to back out. He done gone.
Yeah,
I'll be in the chat, guys.
hey,
we had to start calling him lickety splits.
Willie, you have
Look,
to
you
mute
don't
your
even give a man
YouTube
a
feed,
chance
buddy.
to back out. He done gone.
Yeah, turn your volume off on your YouTube. We had to start calling him lickety splits.
Hey, Willie, you have
Look,
to
you
mute
don't
your
even give a man
YouTube
a
feed,
chance
buddy.
to back out. He done gone.
Willie.
Yeah, turn your volume off on your YouTube. We had to start calling him lickety splits.
Hey, Willie,
There you go.
Seems to be working.
That's mo better. How you doing, man?
Hey, Willie.
I think this is the first time you
Good. I'm just trying to find. Hoping it's not feeding back too bad. I might have to just run out and grab some earphones.
yeah, it might work better.
Yeah.
On your YouTube, just go ahead and mute it. Don't turn it down, mute it.
Well, I'm on the cell phone audio now.
I don't hear any feedback now. Yeah.
Close the YouTube app, Willie.
What was that?
Close YouTube.
Close YouTube. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm on it.
Are you playing?
I'm right in StreamYard. I'm not on YouTube.
Hey Tater, as soon as I get my motor, I'm gonna start the Tater cycle.
You gonna work on it?
Yeah, as soon as I figure out how to get that motor from Ed, I'm gonna start working on it. I got it out today and pressure washed it.
Oh, cool. Hey, check this out, Stacy. You watching?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there.
That's more like it.
That's
Got
what
it going. Thanks to Boneyard, he helped me figure it out.
Terry in Circles. Hi, how are you?
That's something I need to do to the fat cycles. Put one of them order that flywheel kit. That's got the ring for the electric start and also the charging coil thing and all on it.
Yeah, I'm fixing to be hosed, man, because I'm severely right-handed, and that surgery they're doing is going to be on my right shoulder. So,
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh, we lost Willie.
I'm fixing to be completely screwed.
I think that Willie's going to have to work. We're going to have to work with Willie because he's having a hard time getting used to the StreamYard thing.
Yeah.
And he's going to do that from his mobile phone. So, if he's got an Android phone, I can help him with it pretty easy. But I know,
He's
like,
got an Apple. He's got a fruit product. No, he's gonna have a heck of a time.
Hey, a fruit product to do it too. Don't even go there.
No, it's just a pain in the butt to get there.
Need some help with using an iPad, I believe, on running StreamYards without having his 1K. So we may have.
All you got to do is go to Safari on the iPad and go through the desk. I mean, you have the option to go through the desktop version.
Mm-hmm.
If you go through the desktop version, you can run it just like you can on a computer.
Hey,
So
Stacey, I dropped my block off the machine shop Saturday.
Get that set up so he can do StreamYards from his iPad. And I'm going to try to get with Willie and help him get his StreamYards working on his cell phone. So they can actually jump into the live lineup. I'd love to watch Boneyard's Garage do some live videos because he does some phenomenal videos.
Willie's supposed to be a backup. Is he going to be able to do a backup?
I'm glad to see that.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I'm glad to see that electric start on that mini bike. That's just cool.
Heck yeah.
There's more to come. I'm still wiring.
Where'd you get? What kind of frame is that?
Yours for a minute.
Moto box.
That's a modified Motovox. Hey, Nate. I went and picked up a Honda 4Trax 250 frame, everything but the motor and transmission, shaft drive Thursday.
Hey, Sam. Well, my next video coming out, I melted a Katana 600.
Oh no.
Well,
Jump motor.
Everything that was aluminum on it.
No.
There's over 50 pounds of aluminum there, but
yeah, the frame's aluminum on those too, ain't they?
Oh, no, it's steel.
Oh, you get me that older one.
It's so hard, I had to cut the motor out of it with a sawzall.
Ooh.
And it had where the motor mounts were in the block. When I cut the frame, the chunks just fell out of it, so the engine wasn't savable. So
no,
So I melted it.
Dang. That is cool, Nate. It's pretty bright headlight too. LED.
I swapped the bulb out.
LED bulb.
It's like a fog light bulb. It's probably gonna melt it.
Need to get you some LED lights for the back of it.
I'm working on that.
Hey, Stacey, I dropped my cooler block off at the machine shop to get board and sleeves.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Oh, cool.
I did too.
I left you a comment on it. I'm building a 30 horse V twin Kohler Command to put on one of my mowers right now.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna. What bore is a 30 horse? What's the bore size?
I don't remember. But
I can't find it anywhere. I've looked all over Kohler's websites and manuals and everything else, and
it's 996 cc's.
Right.
So,
but I can find the classification for like the 27 horse, the 32 horse, but not the 30 horse. Because my next engine I'm going to build I'm boring it to a 30 horse piston.
Well, see, I took a 30 horse and bored it 60 over, re-sleeved it, and then boarded another 20.
Well, so I can't find a horizontal shaft 30 horse anywhere.
This is a vertical. So.
Right. But I want to use the vertical pistons and rods and a horizontal block because that's still legal because it's a production made motor.
Well, I'll tell you this, you can take the piston out of a 23 horse and turn it sideways and stick it in the bore of the 30 horse.
Yeah.
Dang.
My pistons from my 39 cubic inch will drop right down through the sleeve of that 25 I'm doing.
It's going to be pretty wild.
Well, I'm gonna run stock pistons this coming year because I couldn't afford to do the boring and the sleeving and get all new rockers and everything else this year and buy pistons. So I'm gonna run the stock pistons this year, and then next year I'll go with the forged flat tops and everything.
Well, the pistons that I'm making for this one, we're taking 396 Chevrolet pistons and milling them down, turning them down to make pistons out of them.
Well, my buddy Mark's given me a set of heads that's already been basically they've been ported, polished, bigger valves, put them in everything else. And I'm taking them back to the machine shop he had them done at because the rockers I'm using, I have to have longer valves in it because of the rockers I'm using. And they said since it hasn't been ran, they'll take those valves back and give me new ones put in it for $35 a piece.
Yeah, trying to get lucky back in here.
Yeah, I'm here.
And then they'll also reflow them and everything else to make sure everything's right.
Yeah. Oh, hold on 1 minute.
And then they'll also reflow them.
Sorry. I should have known better. Rookie mistake.
Hey, it's all good.
Yeah, I was glad to get that FXS off the table, man.
That looks good when you're riding it.
I got to ride it one time, and it was raining. Tabitha looked at me and said, "You're not riding that in the rain." I said, "Just watch me." Out the driveway, I went. Out the garage, I went.
Yeah. It did sound good, though.
The whole time I'm like, how in the hell is he going to get it off that table? And I'm like, okay, now what? Okay, now what? And he kept like moving stuff around and the table tilts and then it starts going down. I'm like, what the heck? He's got all kinds of crazy contraptions on there.
I was using the winch off the back of my Cub. Y'all seen my tow rig on the back of my Cub. I was using the winch off it to control it going down.
So Sam has this new one of those little go-karts that he has there, and he was asking everybody what color, what type of theme to be able to do for his raffle. I gave him the idea because it's a raffle for YouTube. I gave him the idea of the theme for YouTube. So something to do with like pictures or something to do with YouTube. Like said he's going to go with it.
Do it red with the YouTube symbols all over it.
Yeah. Says I'm gonna build a YouTube go-kart this week. That's gonna be awesome to watch.
Heck yeah.
Sam's on fire, boy. He's up over 500 subscribers now.
Yeah.
Did everybody catch what I said? Did everybody catch what I said at the beginning?
What's that?
He's at 470.
He's
close to 500.
I'd like to see everybody supporting everybody, not just the small channels.
Yeah.
Yep.
The big channel shouting out the small channel shouting out the big channel, so on and so forth. You
I
know,
went to a couple of small channels today.
Well, like I've said several times, I'm not out to build my channel. I just put videos out on stuff I like, and if people like them, that's good. If not, that's good too. Just here to have fun and spend time with the family.
hey, if y'all want to see something out of the ordinary, Shaw's Prospecting does some. That's pretty cool videos. There you go, Nate. There you go.
Triple carbon.
I can build you a manifold that'll hold them two McCoonies.
Just carbs coming off everywhere.
We got Jonathan's Logs in the house. He's that's David's nephew right there, and he's going to be coming on strong too.
He's covering Tuesday night. He does Tuesday night.
So there's a lot of faces that are going to try to work on getting up to speed with being able to do live streams, and I really think that there's a lot of value in doing live streams because it gives people an opportunity to interact with you one-on-one. So, I think that Lucky and Mick and Nate and Ed, Stacy and Kathy, and we all have good ideas to help people with their channels. So I look forward to having the ability to kind of help people in that aspect, and I look forward to even more to people being able to get that information and turn that into some positive results.
Something else that I've been doing that a lot of people don't know that I've been doing. When I'm in this office at work, I have my iPad sitting over here and I'm running somebody's playlist all day long.
I do the same thing when I'm at work. If I'm not live, I'll do somebody's playlist.
I ran well, Lucky, I ran yours one day last week. And
Thank you.
It ran 130 different videos.
I did I think it was Patty's performance today, and I did one other. I can't think of their name right now, but I'll remember. But I did 2 of them today.
How you doing, Mason? How you doing, Mason?
On my work computer, I've had up to 5 different channels streaming all their videos at one time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mason Fox is another new guy to me.
Yeah, Mason, he's pretty cool. He's a good kid. He basically goes on a couple live streams that I go to. He's a good kid.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a ton of different things going on all the time. Not just in the YouTube platform, but all the other social media platforms as well. And Lucky, I think that you've been killing it, being able to do your live streams on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. I think that's fantastic.
Yep, I used to do live streams on Facebook, then live streams on YouTube, and I just smartened up. I said, you know what? From now on, I'm going to do them both together. And I believe it. When I first started doing that, it brought up my channel count like tremendous. I must have probably got like 80 to 90 subscribers in the past 23 days.
That's phenomenal.
Yep. I think it's up 92% for this one. I would have to look into my stats here. See if I can get that.
Lucky, you've been killing it, and that's what it takes to be successful. You got to put the work into it.
Mason Fox, I just paid you a visit, brother. So.
That's the part that that's the hardest part to do, is to put the work in.
It's 86% in the last 28 days. My views are up 34%, which is from 5.7K. My watch time hours are up 43%. My revenue is actually up 24%.
You have revenue?
I don't want to talk about mine. I got this all over mine everywhere.
Would you please let them know that John?
Lucky's the only thing that keeps my channel going.
I want to know what this revenue stuff y'all keep talking about. All I get is a thing that says you owe us this.
Yep.
Look,
My average view destination on every video is 42%. That's a little less than halfway on my videos. And most of these videos here, they're not the 5-minute videos, and most of them are like an hour long or 2 hours long. You know, so if somebody bought half my video, that's awesome.
This can of WD-40 was brought to you by Lucky 7 Mud Mowers. Please check them out.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to do something to turn my stuff around. I lost a lot of watch time, and this time last year I was going live 4 nights a week. So I got to catch that watch time back up and stuff.
Nate's done got me thinking hard about what he just had up there beside that motor.
All right.
With the 3 carbs. I remember the old Dodge with the 6-pack intake and carbs on them 340 Barracudas and all.
All right, we have a question on the panel in the chat. Mason Fox, I was telling you, he was asking a couple live streams in a row. He's been having a problem with his RC car where the battery hooks up to the wires. And the wires are, I think he tried to solder them and it melted the wires too short or something. He's trying to figure out how he could put, longer wires to help that battery be connected to the RC car.
His best bet is probably going to be to go in and unsolder the wires from the panel or from the board and solder new ones straight to the board, longer wires.
Hey, we got a super chat from Ralph's Trucking. Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll watch this channel later on tonight. I'll run it tonight, Ralph's.
Yeah, I may put Ralph on the Run Ralph's playlist tomorrow.
Put it on tonight. I'll get up about 4:30 Eastern time, and that'll be good 8 hours worth of run time. So he'll get something.
Well, everybody's in the big race to hit 1,000, right, to get monetized. 1,000 is easy to do, except 4,000 watch hours that kicks you in the tail.
Y'all can have the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. That's all on y'all. I'll help you get there, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm too lazy to do all that.
I came across something here. Let's see if I could try to find it again. My audience, right here.
Hey, Mason, most of us do have channel stickers that we can send you. I don't know how we would do that, how we would get his email without posting it publicly. But.
He's got to find me on Facebook or Instagram.
Or get a hold of Craig Durbin, and Craig Durbin can let everybody know where to send them to. He's our man with all the info.
All right, Ralph. I'll run Doughboy Scratcher tomorrow. I'm subbed to that channel too.
What'd you say, Brandon?
Hey guys, I'm gonna drop back down into the chat. I'm getting tired, and you can let somebody else come up here. So good seeing you again, Stacy, and talking to everybody. I'll be down in the chat.
All right,
Fuller.
Hey, in the chat, Mason asked if anybody knew how to fix his RC CSR problem. He cut the wires on it on accident and made them short, is it possible for me to make the wires I cut longer by adding new pieces of wire?
You can add new pieces of wire, but it's better if you could get into the actual circuit board and unsolder the wires that you cut short and solder new ones back in there. You'll do a lot better than just trying to solder wire to wire.
Hey, Craig, is there a way that Mason can get his address to us so we can send him stickers?
Yeah.
I could be able to get that for you. I talk to Mason probably like 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay.
So I will establish that for you.
All right.
And I'll put it up in Hangouts.
That'll be good, Lucky. And then, like Stacy said, I'll get you Stacy's email address so that you have that, and then you can send that stuff to him.
Yep.
I'm hoping Willie will come back up. He doesn't want to intrude, but he hasn't really messed with the StreamYards a whole lot, and I would like to see him get a little bit of familiarity with it. He's got his earbuds now, so hopefully he can get a feel for the StreamYards a little bit.
You want me to drop out? So
No, we got a spot.
No, we got an empty spot. Hey, Craig, I got to step out for a minute and take care of one of the trucks real quick. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta go eat real quick.
And I really would like to have the voice time with Willie to find out what kind of phone he's using so that we can kind of pin down what he needs to do his live streams from the phone, because he'd like to get in on the weekly lineup, which is good because it helps people get familiar with who he is and what he's doing. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I got 4 people lined up, but none of them have ever done live, so.
This is stupid.
What?
This damn throttle cable thing don't fit through the carburetor thing.
oh, that's so fun. Hey, Willie, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What we were trying to tell you is if you're on the StreamYard application, you have to mute the
I
YouTube
understand.
video. So
I'm plugged in now. So I
Are
got quite a bit of freedom right now. Can you hear me good?
oh yeah. Are you using an Android phone?
Hey,
Yeah, it's an
easy.
S7, and then I have my S5 right here. I can read the chat.
Okay.
So I don't have to
On
squint.
your S7, instead of going to the YouTube app or into any kind of application, if you open Google Chrome, at the top, there'll be 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. And you click on those 3 dots before you go to StreamYard.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this on my phone while I'm talking to you about it. You go into
I'll
more.
have what was you were saying?
You go into more on where the 3 dots are, and then you select settings.
I gotta bring up Chrome on this phone. I don't have Chrome on this phone.
You should be able to download it. It should be in the Play Store.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go see if I can find that. Don't mind me. I'll let you know when I get Chrome up here.
Okay.
Hey, Craig.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a few minutes. Mason was wanting to come up. If y'all can make that happen, I'm going to drop down in the basement for a couple minutes.
No, I'm fixing to drop out because I'm fixing to have to go take care of 5 head of dogs.
Hey, Lucky, can you get Mason a link to StreamYard?
So I'll be in chat and all, but I won't be on the panel. I'll be listening on YouTube.
That link is actually in the Hangouts private box. I don't have access to be able to send it to Mason in that particular way.
Willie, you sound good now, bro. There's no feedback or nothing right now.
I didn't even hear the feedback earlier because I'm not on your end.
I gotta go.
That's fine. I understand. I've seen it before.
Okay, Nate, take care, brother.
Nice.
Are you on your laptop, Lucky?
Actually, on a home computer.
Okay, up at the top where the StreamYards is, you know, where you have your tab.
I can copy and paste it if you want. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can copy it and then send it to him in a private message of some sort.
I could see. Mason, you come up on the panel, you better be a good boy. Actually, no, because you can't set anything like an inbox.
Paste it in the room and then delete it.
I can do that.
All right. Mason, hit that link right away.
Who do we have amongst the channels in the panel today?
I'm up here, and Twisted R is up here as well, and then Lucky, and then Tractor 5474 was up here, and Go Kart's Gone Fishing, and then Polar Bear Ed.
I think that's Lucky Seven's icon on the top right, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, mine's on the bottom right.
It's moved up now, Lucky. You're up
Yeah, I
there.
guess
Next to that.
Oh, all right. There we go. Hey, Mason.
What's up?
Not much. How you doing? Okay.
I'm doing
all right. You're gonna be a good kid, right?
Yeah.
All right. I like your hat.
Thanks.
You're welcome, buddy.
Have you seen this hat? No.
Yeah, that's the one from Grandpa, right? Yep. That's his favorite hat, guys.
All right.
They come from England.
I got to get me one of them.
What's up?
All right, Mason. Willie, y'all tell us a little bit about yourself. Mason, you go first.
Well, I'm 19. What else? I still live at home with my mom and dad. I've got a younger brother. And a dog. But that's about it.
What do you like to do? What are your hobbies and stuff?
Collecting records.
Now, Mason has a good record collection. Also, Mason, why don't you take that time and show everybody your RC car that you want to fix?
My dad likes records too. We just gotta get a needle on his record player one of these days. But he has one of the original Pink Floyd The Wall albums. A couple others, but I can't remember all of them were. I was looking at StreamYard, Craig, and StreamYard on this phone seems to be coming up a little bit different from the StreamYard on that one. I'm not seeing my YouTube icon on here.
Yeah, well, what I was getting at, and I've just noticed this on my new Samsung phone that I have. I've got I want to say an A10, is it doesn't have the same Google Chrome settings on it as my older phone does. But basically, if you go on that older phone that you have, if you go into the Google Chrome, up on the top right-hand corner, you'll see 3 dots next to where the address bar is.
Yep.
If you click those 3 dots, you'll see in the list, it says desktop site.
Yep.
if you check that box and then you go to StreamYard website.
I am in desktop mode and I am on StreamYard. Are you talking about setting up a StreamYard on my own YouTube account, you mean? Oh, I had it set up earlier. Just I was busy helping my brother with exhaust. It literally just had the button in the top right corner to just go live. It was on and everything. I just couldn't do it because I got occupied with helping my brother.
Yeah, and that's basically what you have to do.
Yeah,
but you're gonna have to.
I had it right there, ready to go, but it's one of those things like I need help, and you think, okay, just put the downpipe on. And you say, oh yeah, we got to put this whole piece in too, and it's like 8 feet long.
Yeah. The other thing that you have to do is to make sure if you've got any other device streaming the live stream, that you turn the sound off on that other device.
I did. I did that once I got the headphones hooked up. I turned all the audio off on both phones.
Why don't you, since he's right there at the start his own stream and do a test for 5 minutes with you to make sure?
I think he's got it down.
Does he know how to give out wretches and stuff like that, or no?
One thing at a time.
Want me to show you your record?
Well, I've been through the desktop mode before because I was trying to put a what's it called? It's not an icon. Where you get your logo on the corner down here.
Yeah, the branding.
That's it. The brand. I was trying to put a brand on my account, but unfortunately, you can't do it with a cell phone. You have to have a laptop to do it or something like that. And I tried taking the back door through the laptop site on the phone. It still couldn't find the options to do it. There's YouTube videos on doing it, but I guess it was changed around a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're dumping $1,500 or $2,000 or so in your garden tractors, you can't really afford to have a laptop just sitting around.
Yeah, and, one of the things.
What was that?
One of the things that Brandon's been doing is using a desktop computer in his studio and starting a live stream from there, and then just joining the live stream from his mobile phone.
Yeah,
and,
I don't have a computer.
Just clicking the link and going in that way.
Next closest thing I have besides my cell phone would be my PlayStation 3, and that's no better. Matter of fact, I think it's a step backwards.
A lot of that stuff you just learn with experience. So it just takes a little time to learn that stuff. And, there's a lot of people in the community that can help you with it. Once you get live, then we can help you with making your moderators and those kinds of things. Once you're live, so we can get you set up so you have moderators in your channel and that kind of thing to help watch your chat. So,
any chance you have some flashlights? We can see what that record is. It's pretty dark.
We can make him bigger.
Leave one out before.
Oh, it's Queen. Okay.
Awesome. Good job, Willie.
Here's Prince. Come on, you darn thing, get in there.
Guys, I usually go live from my shop, and my Wi-Fi just absolutely sucks right there. I need to get a Wi-Fi extender. I went to Walmart and looked at some there, some other places, but the internet company that we have, I can only use a certain Wi-Fi extender, and it's like $100. And I don't have the money right now, so I'm gonna be doing my lives from the office. So I get.
Yeah, Craig mentioned that in the stream. What was it, Sunday? I'm kind of. We used to have, what was it, Verizon dial-up, DSL, and for the longest time it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And we'd tell them to come out and fix it, and they'd come out and check it and say there's nothing wrong with it on this end. And it got so bad that we kept having to reset routers like once or twice a day. So he said, just take it, don't need it, because half the time we couldn't even use it. And then we hooked up to the router over to the house next door, and that worked fine for a while. I guess those range extenders wear out or something, and they just started to do the same thing. You have to reset the Wi-Fi extenders in order for us to get it over here about once a day. Don't know what happened to them because they worked fine for a few months, and then we got our unlimited data plan for our cell phones, and hadn't any problems with that because the tower is literally 150, 200 yards just up the hill from here.
Nice.
I can literally see it from the front door. It's up in the upper half of our yard, so I always have full bars here.
My issue is the
I
internet
have like
runs
3.5.
You like this hat?
the internet runs into the office here, which is a metal building. My shop is about 30 yards from here, and it's also a metal building.
Well, you want to hear something funny? I have 3 bars right now out of 5, even though the tower is only 200 yards away. I'm in a garage, and when we filled in the concrete for the upper half of the garage, we laid corrugated steel down, and that corrugated steel was supported on I-beams. I'm going to say probably 10-inch I-beams, and one breezeway wall that supports the wall upstairs for the breezeway. And we poured the concrete on top of that. So there's like 8 inches of concrete along with, I'm going to say, I'm trying to think of what gauge it is. It's not 32 inch steel, but it's a little bit thicker than I guess 30 seconds or about that corrugated steel. So it's, if I went outside, I'd have full service. I'd come in here and it's like 3 bars, but thankfully I don't have to worry about it considering we're by the tower. I've been spoiled. So we now have satellite internet, and it still doesn't hold a candle to Verizon wireless on our cell phones. But we have the satellite internet hooked up to the DVRs for the Dish network, DirecTV, I'm sorry. So if we ever set something to record, it'll record if the power or if the signal goes out, it can still record a show on the internet.
See you, Harold.
More or less.
Yeah, I tried everything I could think of short of running a hard line out there, and the problem with that is there's so much heavy truck traffic and stuff through here with the wreckers and everything that it wouldn't hold up unless I put it in conduit. And man, this ground here is like concrete. I'm old. I don't do
Here
that.
in Texas, don't they have like red clay that gets hard packed?
Yeah, it's harder than concrete.
I'm trying to remember a TV show. These guys that would Rocket Masters, I believe it was. I remember them talking about how you could try and take a pickaxe. You have to stab. You couldn't just like chip it in the ground. You had to like whack it into the ground in order to even penetrate.
John's life, where are you at?
They're trying to do a rocket-sized lawn dart game. It was pretty funny. So they stuck this like big 3-inch pipe on the end of their rocket so it would stick in the ground. Anyway, something I've been up to today, and hard to find any information on British Stratton Vanguards. I wanted to build my opposed twin, but it's going to cost me like $2,200 to get all the parts for the opposed twin. I know I'd get more horsepower, but with my tax refund and getting caught up with a lot of other things, I decided to build up my Vanguard engine because I had a Vanguard engine. I only had $50 out of pocket for one, $30 out of pocket for the other. The one I bought for $30 had the dual carburetor on it. I opened up the carburetor, and the carburetor's clean. I just need to order the gaskets and a needle for it. And I'm going to sell the muffler off of that and get my money back on it. The other 18 horse had bad cylinders, so I'm going to have that one bored out since it's not since the cylinders are imperfect. But the bearing surfaces all looked good. I have to have the crankshaft.
Willie, you want to see a mean oppose? Check out my FXS videos.
I don't know if you can see how roaded that
is. Could I get a second here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy C just uploaded a video, and it was a mail call, and Kathy was in it. Just give you a heads up.
Who was in it?
Kathy.
Oh, cool.
In other words, he got his mail from Kathy.
I got you. Okay.
All right.
anyway, the crank throws look horrible, but the actual bearing surfaces are still pretty clean, and it still had a factory size on the crank journal. So I don't foresee any problems with that. But my next problem was I want to order rod and pistons, and because it was a rusted cylinder, I couldn't really get an accurate measurement on how far the pistons were in the hole. So when I took my 20 horse apart, I was able to get the how far the piston was down the hole using my one depth gauge, which was 55 thousandths. The piston comes up 55 thousandths short of the deck, and I managed to measure everything else and got just over 6.5 inches. It took me forever to find out that the block height was just over 6.5 inches. It's like looking all over the internet. It's like, boy, this is supposed to be a common spec, but nothing anywhere.
You want to see a mean opposed twin? Check out my FXS videos. That's what it's got
I've
on.
seen them. I saw you got the one on the ground not that long ago.
Yeah.
What was that, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? I think you put the video up.
Something like that. And
I was kind of impressed with how that ramp gets put down. I thought I was going to fold up like those pneumatic bike lifts. I wasn't expecting it to tilt down and roll off.
it tilts both directions.
Yep.
That's a twisted invention right there.
Yep.
Hey, John's life. Too bad Jane in Texas, because I got about 50 mowers and I didn't pay a dime for them.
I don't know if that's helping or not.
What you got going on there, Lucky?
I'm watching Jimmy C opening Kathy's package, and I guess he's over there. He bought a whole log of soap off of Kathy, and he's over there smelling it like he's in heaven.
Hey, I've been at Craig's house when she was making that soap. Man, I think I helped her cut some, or I did something with her one day. But man, when she goes making that soap, it smells good.
Yeah.
I imagine they're always busy over there between making their stuff, wrapping their stuff, and then shipping their stuff.
Yeah.
Keeping track of the hangouts all the time. I'm sure they got themselves a full-time job.
Hey, Kathy's like a little short, sawed off, little bitty 50-pound mad scientist, man. She goes to town on that shit.
Yep. You know, it's kind of funny with a name like Cook. You would think we were bakers with all the stuff we have around here. Believe it or not, my mom makes cookies, and you would think, well, maybe there's 12, 13 different flavors. No, I think we have something like 19 flavors on a tray, and each tray has 3, for a small tray, 3 of a kind. For the most part, we do about 6 of a kind if we have a bigger tray. One thing that's kind of funny about them is I took them out to work one day down at Wallace Tractor Supply and Equipment when I was doing small engine repair. And when you're at a business in different places, you'll find that sometimes the carolers will drop off cookie trays all the time. So you might see 3, maybe 2 cookie trays sitting on the table all the time. And one of the worst things with cookie trays that you're unfamiliar with is you never know what you're going to get. So sometimes you pick up a cookie, and it could be an anise cookie, and a lot of people don't like those. Just as an example. So a lot of the time you'll see these things that they look beautiful, and then people might pick half the cookies off of it and leave it there. But then I took my mom's down there, and for the most part, they're gone in just a weekend. Sometimes a day. It's kind of funny. That's one of the more bigger things we do around here as for gifts that go out. Other than that, don't really do much. I'm always working on friends' stuff. I just sent a tractor back down to a friend after I had serviced that. Not talking about myself, am I?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're still here.
We're listening.
We're listening to you. Oh hell, Alexander Smith's in here.
I haven't been watching the chat. I turned my phone off when I was messing around with Chrome.
Mate, Chad, I can't say that, but the one that starts with MC, hi, how you doing?
Sorry if I missed anyone's asking any questions. I don't think there's much to ask. One of the things I've been up to is my mower Craftsman, which I did a cold start on. Pulled that Craftsman over because it had some minor oil leaks. The valve cover and the output shaft seal were leaking on it. I got that all torn apart yesterday.
Craig, are you watching this?
Gonna start getting the wiring on that.
Yep.
That was sort of a bodge of bodges. When I was doing the wiring on that, I'd like add this part, then it was all fine. Then I decided I'll add this, and then there's wires run everywhere in like 2 different directions. So I was gonna pull all that out and redo that. I'm not sure I should put a video up on that. Most people, when you say the word wiring, they want to look away. That's one thing I'm gonna be doing. And once I get caught up with that, then I gotta get my other Craftsman and redo the hitch and get the motor finished up on it. I gotta look up ARC. I might have to talk to the guys at ARC or something like that about rods. One thing I was looking at was Carry Performance has rods and pistons for Vanguards, but the problem is they don't have oversized pistons. I have yet to take a look at ARC yet to see if they have oversized pistons that would fit the 18 horsepower block. So I got to bore that at least 20 over.
For the Oppie or the Vanguard?
The Vanguard.
They'll have it for the Vanguard. Talk to Corey.
I was kind of surprised.
Talk to Corey over ARC. That's my guy over there.
Yeah, I had asked the guy, one person's like, I need to bore this engine out. I need pistons that would fit this. And he said, well, here's the part numbers. Hope that helps. Okay, what size do I need to bore the bore out? Or what's the specs for the piston? And I was hoping to get like a clearance spec for the piston to get an idea on whether or not what I have to be bored out to, if I could bore it out. I don't even know if he understood what I was talking about. I think all they do is they buy a new block and they put the parts in it and kick it out the door. Okay, good enough. But I do have to admit that the heads over at Carry Performance are pretty nice. They bore those things out, and they're running these 16 horsepower heads up to 8,000 RPM, with 23 horsepower blocks up to, I think, 6 or 6,500 RPMs, which is pretty impressive.
When I first built the Lucky 7, I did a lot of work to that engine. I set the block out. The V-twin. It's a 21 horsepower. Yep, 21 horsepower V-twin.
Intech or Vanguard is my point.
No, Intech.
Okay.
It's motored over 2%. It has no governor assembly inside the block, nothing outside. Like I said, I built it 2 years ago, and the RPMs is outrageous. You watch all the videos, you'll hear it. It does crank, and they did a really
on RPMs, and I had to have a governor. I was going to do like what my brother's tractor has on his Case 530, which is like a tractor from the 60s, I believe. A lot of tractors have it. Is they'll have the regular governed throttle, like you have the lever on the column to increase or decrease your throttle. And another thing it has is the foot pedal. So when you need that little bit of RPMs to dig up some dirt or something like that, you just step on the pedal to rev it up. I want to do something like that on my tractor, so I have the option of having a wide open throttle on the pedal and then a governed speed on a throttle. And for the wide open, I was going to limit the RPM to what the rules say, and that's a max of 4,500 RPMs. With tractor pulling, from what I've heard, you want a heavier flywheel, not a lighter flywheel, so you can keep the momentum going down the track. And who's my trainer?
Ed's the one that school you on that.
So I wanted to keep the governor on there.
I've got an opposed twin out there in the shop that I can turn 11,000 RPM with.
I've seen videos of tacks going up to 12 on them. And not only do I want to use the governor and I want to have the wide open throttle, but I still have to have a max RPM in the class that's legal. And that's 4,500 RPMs. So what I was going to do is add a rev limiter to it. I was going to run on the single barrel propane and I'm gonna try and see if I can't get around 11-to-1 compression ratio, because propane has a higher octane rating than, say, gasoline. And if it doesn't work out for the propane, I can still put the double barrel on there with the avgas, because avgas doesn't really mind 11-to-1 compression,
Shave
as long as you don't
the
have a lot of, as long as you don't have a lot of advance on it, which I don't think I want to get into the advance on it. I had an idea on doing the timing on it to see if I couldn't tweak it to get a little more torque out of it, advancing the timing. But I get worried about detonation because I have no way of really listening for it when you have loud exhaust. They say you can go by feel. So I was looking into NOx sensors, and sure, you can put a NOx sensor on a motor and it'll tell you when you get a misfire and so on and so forth, but those stinking kits cost you like $1,100.
Always been my experience with a NOx sensor. When it hits hard enough to set the NOx sensor off, it's too late anyway.
Well, I saw one thing you can do with a NOx sensor is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with acoustic guitars, but a lot of acoustic guitars will have a piezo contact mic built into the bridge, the lower bridge, to get audio off of it. And NOx sensors are piezo crystal sensors. They're sensing the audio going through the engine. Granted, their vision is narrowed down to higher frequencies. I think something like 12,000 hertz or something like that. And the frequency in which you'd hear from knock is different depending on the size of the bore, because just like you'd ring a small socket versus a big socket, they have different sounds. And
All right.
I've seen people hook up headphones to them using an amp.
All right, Small Engine Nation family. It is now 9:30 here. I got to get up at 4 o'clock. So we'll talk to everybody later.
All right, Lucky.
Take care, Lucky. Thanks for helping out and coming in.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's all in the family. All right, we'll talk to everybody later.
All right, brother.
See you, Lucky. Sorry,
I'm gonna run for a little while longer, and then I'm gonna shut it down. I'll probably go 2 hours tonight.
Yep. So I need to look into building up some sort of amplifier. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. I've seen people just take regular earphone, like aux cords, and solder them to piezo sensors, and just hook up a amplifier. But I don't know what kind of gain they have on those amplifiers. So what I was thinking about doing is they make these earphone amplifiers, like you plug into your phone, and then you'd have an aux cord that goes in the amplifier and that has a separate volume control, so you can hook up to like a stereo to boost the signal up. So I'm thinking if I hook up the piezo NOx sensor to that signal booster, and if I had to, I could try adding another amplifier. At least then I'd have a pre-signal or preamp and an amp to try and boost the signal up and see what I do or don't hear. But I don't have the money for that right now, but I'd probably invest money into that in the future after I get the engine built. I think it'd be an interesting project. I've only ever seen one video of it being done, but never really put into practice. A lot of the time when you see people
be leery of putting that kind of a frequency into your ears, especially when you're dealing with the exhaust and all that. You could end up actually damaging your hearing by doing something like that. So I don't know. That'd be
yeah, that's too technical for me.
I don't know if the speakers would even ring at that kind of RPM, because I think standard audio speakers are probably limited in the frequencies in which they can probably put out, but I could look into that. I don't know. I know when you watch them on videos, it doesn't sound very nice.
When you're dealing with your hearing only has the human audio range is only at a certain frequency. But when you're putting that kind of sound frequency into your ear, even if it's not audible, it can still do damage to your inner ear. So I would be leery about doing that.
That's just like a dog whistle, you know. Dog whistle, you blow it. Human can't hear it, but a dog can hear it from a mile away.
Yep.
So when you amplify that dog whistle, if you're wearing headphones, it will rupture both your eardrums, and you'll never hear a thing.
don't know how to even go about looking into that.
I
Never thought about
What I
that.
would do is I would research what a knock sensor does on a regular automotive application and see if you can duplicate how that knock sensor trips the check engine light.
Well, the
'Cause
problem
that's
with
kind of
the
a process.
NOx signal is the higher the RPM is, the more noise there is. So if you say set it to a certain sensitivity to sense a knock, you rev it up to a higher RPM, it's going to start going off anyway.
Yeah, well, ultimately, you shouldn't have a knock if things are put together right. But the best way to avoid having a knock is making sure you have a good balance on your lower end.
Yeah.
So you can avoid that.
Yeah, but how do you avoid that in a small engine? It's fixed timing. And,
No, it's not.
Variable timing.
You can get
What was that?
you can adjust the timing on a small engine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know you can. It's just telling if you've gone too far is a little bit difficult. At least I haven't really experienced on how you would do it, because it's not like a distributor where you can turn a little bit and feel if it starts shaking. You got to take it apart, put it together, and then your comparison before and after is a little bit difficult when you had it running an hour ago and you're trying to remember how it felt back then. I did have a problem with my B1. I had a video up on it about avgas. Nobody really talks about the burn speeds of fuel. I took for granted or just guessed that higher octane meant less prone to detonation and timing wouldn't hurt it, but turns out that avgas burns faster than gasoline. So I stuck that in the engine after I had the timing set to 30 degrees before top dead center, running on gasoline. I put the avgas in there and the whole tractor started shaking horribly. Thinking, what in the world is going on here? And I put it down to an idle and it was still shaking. It's like it never shakes on an idle. Something was wrong here. And then I looked into it and turns out aircraft timing is a max of 25 degrees and they're running at higher RPMs than what this engine's probably running.
Well, the difference too with that is that aviation fuel is designed to burn at a certain altitude.
Yeah, and octane changes up in the higher altitude. I think is a higher octane than down on the ground.
So you got to be careful with using aviation fuel, and it's one of the reasons why they make race fuel, because it's designed to run in a race application. It still has a higher octane, but it has a different alcohol composition in it. Polar Bear Ed is really good with that. He runs methane in his pulling tractor. So
once I dialed it back to a little bit less than 25 degrees before top dead center, because the coil bracket actually moves on the cast iron Briggs engines, it ran a lot nicer. It didn't fight me starting it. It didn't sound bad. It seemed to run fine. It starts easier than it did on gasoline. Didn't have to change the jetting all that much, but when I was running gasoline, I noticed that I'd have too much fuel at low speed and not much fuel in the middle speed. So I actually, what did I do with that? I think I had to change the float level. I'm trying to remember what I had to do with that. I think I had to decrease the float level because it was getting too much fuel at the low speed. And then I was able to turn the screw out for low speed out more. And it got rid of the starvation at mid RPM. But then I put the avgas in, I had to put the float right back to where it was factory. But granted, the decompression circuit, the Atkinson cycle was taken out of that engine. So the jetting is a little bit different when you do that because for part of the compression stroke, some of the gases go back through the intake so that when you take that decompression out, it messes things up a little bit.
I run my Hoppy at 28 degrees and at 110, running on 110 octane. And
one thing I
can turn 11,000 with it all day.
Okay. One thing I was wondering is, at what point do you see knock on a fixed timing engine? Is it like low RPM full load, or high RPM light load that you start seeing detonation if it is a problem?
Or you're going to get detonation on the top end.
Yeah, and you can get variable timing aftermarket that will bolt on to the front of that block. Ed's got it on his pulling tractor.
But I don't think some classes are restricted on aftermarket ignition. I don't know which classes that were, but I do remember reading that. But then again, I don't have a whole lot of money. I'm not made of money. Look at my coat. I got holes through my coat. There's a hole in the back of it even. And this is a $50 coat.
Yeah,
I have,
some of
I
that
have
stuff
another
you can
coat in my
find
room,
used.
but
So
what was that?
some of that stuff you can find used.
Yeah. Even then, I don't want to have to invest a whole lot of money in my stuff. I want to be able to use it all the time. So if I have the factory ignition, it's easy to service it if there ever was a problem.
Ed'd be the one to tell you all those what you can and can't do.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time, and he's got probably enough money in that pulling tractor of his that you could buy a nice used pickup a couple
Well,
times.
then again, if I go half as far for half the money, I'm happy. Because I know I'm not playing in the modifieds like he had mentioned before. There's who knows how many people are cheating. When I go into a stock class and people are doing 3-4 miles an hour, and you get one guy that flies down the track and there's a cloud of dust and he's gone, it's hard to believe it's legal.
Yeah, Ed knows all those rules. He's been doing it for a long time. So
Yeah,
he's running a pro modified setup. He knows all the regular stuff, and he's done all that stuff too. So he's not a stranger to any of that at all.
Yeah, Ed does the pulling, I do the circle track racing, and
you know,
different
well, that's why I want to fool. That's why I wanted to fool around with using propane because nobody's done it. I thought it'd be fun. Granted, I don't know what the track guys are going to think when you start running an engine on pressurized fuel.
Well, it's still
actually, in all reality, propane is actually a safer fuel than gasoline. If you get a leak in a line of propane, you have safety cutoffs that once it pops, if you have a line break, the safety cutoff shuts it off before you get any crazy amounts of gas going anywhere. It might stink really bad and scare you, but unlikely to have any problems. And another reason why I wanted to use the propane is not just because of the compression ratio, but I can hook up my rev limiter, like I had mentioned earlier, right up to the fuel shutoff relay. So the instant it gets over that RPM, it shuts the fuel off, and it immediately starts dropping an RPM. And after it drops, I think like 50 RPMs, it'll kick back on again. It'll flutter in there pretty quick. I used a Windows switch to do that, which was kind of cheating. MSD Windows switch. So I know I'm not going to be anything. It's not going to be anything that's going to be super competitive, but at least it's going to be fun, really reliable. And if I want to plow with it, I can. Because propane, you don't need to choke it or anything like that. You might have to adjust the jet on it, but you don't have to worry about what is it? Fuel droplets when it's cold. You don't have to worry about it flooding out or getting what's it called? Port wetting. That's it. You don't have to worry about the port wetting when it's cold and stalling when you put under a load before it's warmed up. So literally just turn a key and go with propane. But if it doesn't work out, I have the double barrel carburetor I can stick on there. And I can even buy a carburetor online that's already set up to run alcohol.
You start washing down cylinders, you'll end up with your rings being defeated.
Washing the cylinders down with what?
With fuel, you start glazing the cylinder walls, and your rings won't be as effective. You lose compression.
Well, you don't. I don't think you have. That's another. When they're cold, the fuel doesn't mystify in the engines when they're cold. That's why you'll get those cold stalls. Hotter plug can help that because then if you get a wet spot in the plug, you can still light it. But propane is one of those things that's not really as susceptible to cold if everything's set up correctly. You might have to, just like anything else, it might have to be rich or leaned a little bit when it's cold out. I've seen forklifts start with less hesitation on propane than gasoline. There's one down at the bottom of the hill at the plant.
Yeah, a lot of that's just really kind of what a user preference is. So,
like I said, I'm doing it just to be interesting, different, fun.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Pop the hood, and I'll say, "There's my fuel tank right there." Where? Right there.
Hey, my fuel tank is a piece of PVC pipe, man.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab that tank I want to use.
Sam, I see you comment there about losing subs, man. Don't let it bother you. Subs will come, subs will go. I mean,
Yep. YouTube purge happens every day.
I can't, to be honest with you, I can't tell you how many subs I got because I don't ever look at it anymore.
Yeah, I don't worry about mine either. Of course, I'm not looking to be monetized, so.
I'm not either. I delete by.
Now I was looking into running a 1 pound ball, and one of the problem with the 1 pound balls is they freeze up pretty darn quick. They'll drop like 1 degree every 6 seconds, but once you get below a certain amount of temperature, they quit misifying. And didn't want to use a 20-pound tank to run this thing because then where are you going to put it on top of the hood because you have a wheelie bar in the back. So one thing that will actually fit in the steering column of the garden tractor was these things. It's actually a 5 pound ball. It's pretty neat. So 5 pounds is about the equivalent of, I think, 1.5 gallons of gasoline, which would last quite a while. I mean, considering a tractor that just gets used for plow duty or moving a trailer around, the tank in it now is only like a gallon, 1.25 gallons, or maybe 1 3/4 gallons in it now, and that goes for quite a while.
My FXS holds 2/3 of a gallon.
Yep. Gets you down the track. That doesn't have to really do much after that.
Well, I run a 10-lap feature and a 10-lap heat race and a 20-lap feature, and I think it's six laps, hot laps. Of course, I top it off every time I come in the pit. So
I was gonna try and keep up with the live chat with this phone, but because it's running the camera, it doesn't really keep up with the stream very well. Let me see if I can't see the chat here. No, what did I do now?
I still see you.
Yeah, but it took me into chats. It's the StreamYard chats. It's a little bit different. Okay. Didn't want to press the back button because I think it would have sent me out. Another thing I was going to look into doing is they make these like diesel fuel filter warmers that have like thermostats built into them. I had one on my one tank. I think that'll fit in the bottom of this propane tank pretty good, and it'll keep it from icing up. But if I'm running at low RPM and just plowing, I don't think this tank is going to ice up because it's a bigger tank. I haven't tried it. If it doesn't work out, because the bottom has that like dome shape to it, I should be able to put a heating pad on the bottom of it and help turn the liquid into a gas and keep it from freezing up. And that only draws, I think, 10 amps to run that. 12 volts, 10 amps to run that. And I think it's got a thermostat set to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is more than enough to vaporize the fuel. It's just a matter of how well it's going to do it, don't know. Of course, this is all in theory. Haven't gotten around to it yet.
I can't wait to see it, man. I like different stuff like that. I mean,
well, I did put a video up trying to run on 1 pound, and I didn't have a 20-pound ball at the time that was full because the one I had in the garage for the longest time was empty. Now I got this 5-pound ball. I need to try it on it and see how long it would run, but I'd like to get it in the tractor and try it. I have trying to think of how long the hose was. I could probably get an extension piece, like a male and female end, to put 2 hoses together if I had to, and strap it to the side while I test ran it, see how it would go. But only problem is if to swap out the propane for a carburetor, you have to take the whole firewall assembly out of the tractor, which takes a few hours when you have gauges on it. I had a tachometer on it and a voltmeter. I don't remember if I had the temperature. It's going on my Craftsman that I use for towing the trailers around. It's just, I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I have tons of these gray brick Craftsmans. I've bought, I think, 9 of them over the years and parted out a bunch of them. I sold one to a friend, and I think I sold a parts one to another friend, and I parted out 5 of them. So I have 2 of them that are mine, and I fixed a friend's for his. When I sold my friend, I had serviced for his. I had to level the deck and check the belts out, and I had to swap out one wheel. minor stuff like that.
I got
It's getting
four.
close to.
I got 4 GT 3000 sitting down there in the boneyard lined up.
Yep. Oh, I had taken in 780 pounds of scrap, and there was only one engine block out of all that scrap. There was not a single transmission. That was just frames and body panels, and stuck in the back of a truck.
I took a single cylinder lawnmower engine and melted it down, melted all the aluminum down in the engine.
Yeah, I saw that. I was the one guy that was wondering if it was a Courage, and he said, no, it's a Command. I'm thinking, no.
Oh, it was locked up, man.
Yep, I know. You said.
That's about all.
Okay, I didn't feel so guilty.
That's about all the Courage is good for, is to melt.
Yeah. I actually had a weird one. I had a Courage when I was working down at the shop that would not start. You'd put a fuse in it. As soon as you turn the key on, it would pop the fuse. We were tracing down this issue. We unhooked lights. We unhooked seat kills. We unhooked the starter solenoid. As soon as you turn the key on, it would pop the fuse instantly. We eventually narrowed it down to when you unplug the engine harness, you could turn it on and crank it over because the solenoid was on the tractor. It would crank over, and we didn't go starting at the time because we were trying to figure out what the problem was. So we realized that the short was in the harness on the engine, so we checked the stator, and the stator was shorted out right to the frame. So I took the whole blower cover off of this Courage, and we saw these little dents all around the stator assembly. Thinking, what in the world? And then we looked a little closer. There's actually a broken bolts for the cover for the bucket, the block. One of the bolt heads snapped and was rattling around underneath the flywheel. So we took the stator off, and lo and behold, that head bolt got jammed underneath the stator and shorted it out.
Yeah.
So the chain of events was the bolts came loose, the block cracked, snapped the bolt, and shorted out the stator. You would think, well, that doesn't sound all that complicated. Well, it was a new motor, but it took an entire day to track the thing down. Like, son of a gun. A head of a bolt stopped it.
I've had absolutely zero luck with a Kohler Courage engine.
Best thing you do when they leak is just get a tube of silicone out and run until they die. That's about it. You could try and keep the buckets bolts, the cover bolts tight, but unless you take them all apart and clean the oil out of them and put Loctite in, there's really not a whole lot you can do with them. And even the valve covers, from what I've seen on YouTube, they have those cork gaskets. And unless you Permatex both the cover and the block, they always leak on them. And even then, the way it's designed with that V-shape pointed down, because the cams are on the outside of the block and the valves are towards the center of the head, they always get oil on the valve guides anyway. So there's always a puff of smoke when you start them. So no matter what you do, they're either leaking it or consuming oil.
A good friend of ours, mine and my wife, I've known her all my life. She's an older lady. She brought her mower over here the other day and said, I can't keep oil in it. I walked over and rolled the hood over on it, shut the hood back. She said, can you fix it? I said, yeah. She said, well, what do you got to do? I said, we're going to pull that motor off and put a Kohler Command on it. And I got, well, between the two boneyards, I probably got 75 mowers around here, So I just went down to the boneyard, grabbed one, had a good Command in it, pulled it up to the shop, pulled the motor off of it, put it on her little old mower, and sent her down the road.
The nicest thing about the Kohler Command, since they have the hydraulic valves on them, is if you put a good muffler on them, they're some of the quietest running engines out there.
Not when I get through with them, they're not.
Well, like I said, if you put a good muffler on them, and now if you take the muffler off. But yeah, you go from Briggs Vanguard that has all that solid lifter clatter all the time, then you go to getting a Command going. It's like, wait, is it running? I can't tell. Okay, it is good. I had a friend of mine had a Craftsman, and it sat outside almost its entire life. and this is back in 2001. And all we had to do was replace a fuel pump once on it, and gave it. He ran that for quite a few years up until the tires wore out. We stuck another set of tires on it, and he kept running it. And I think a belt went bad, and we replaced the belts on it. And eventually, the carburetor had corroded away on it because of this lovely fuel we have nowadays. So replaced the carburetor on it and had it all going pretty good. And then I got that garden tractor for cheap. I found a garden tractor for $150. I serviced it all and sold it to him for $200. He sold his tractor for, I think, $150. I think he only had by the time I bought the Craftsman garden tractor and put belts on it and replaced the spindle on it, he was only $75 out of pocket, going from this old lawn tractor to the garden tractor. He sold that to another friend of mine who ran that for another 3 years, and I just sat, wouldn't start. So I'm thinking, okay, let me take a look at it. Got it home, drained the old gas in it, put fresh gas in it, and things still ran. So that Kohler Command, I think it was a 14 or 15 horse, sat outside its entire life, saw minimal to no service whatsoever. Had except for the occasional oil change and a repair when it quit running. And the thing still ran good, and it didn't hardly smoke, it didn't leak, nothing wrong with it. Even went in a lake and still survived. I just had to drain the sump out. It shut off the moment it hit the water and didn't get anything in the lubricating system. It was just water that got into the vent, so we just drained out the sump and filled it back up, and it still continued to run. The only thing that quit working on it when I sold it last was the stator had died on it because the diode had fried on it, and sometimes you never know when the diodes die. And they left the key on and toasted the stator on it. And sold that tractor for $75. So that went from me to my friend down at the bottom of the hill to another friend and sold out for parts. That thing got around over the years. So how many times that changed hands? It went from the original owner to me. So that's 2 owners, then to Sonny, then Joe. And so 5 owners on that tractor, and it still kept running.
Well, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm fixing to shut this down and go to bed.
Yep.
Thanks for showing up. Willie, thanks for coming in. Craig, thanks for doing what you do. Hey, I like that. That's pretty slick.
Kathy just finished this up for the daughter-in-law, so.
Hey, Craig, one of these days you're tell me how to do the chat so I can see chat on YouTube on this thing, because I can't see if anyone's asking any questions.
Yeah, what you have to do is you have to pop chat out and then close the actual YouTube app down.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
Do that a little bit better. We'll go over some of that stuff with you. It's just it takes a little bit to get used to all of it, and we'll do it a little bit at a time, then you'll get used to it. And one of the things that's nice about having moderators is because then they can monitor your chat for you and keep the stuff out of the mix. And if you're using StreamYard, you can have somebody else read the chat if you're busy doing something.
Yeah. Well, this phone does work, but you can't do chat with this very easily because the bottom half of the screen doesn't work. So I have to see if I can't get a better screen for this. I can even the screen's actually flexing on the whole bottom of the phone. I don't know if when it got hit, it got bent in half or what. But if I get a better screen on this thing, I'll see if I can't do the chat with this better, and I'll turn the video quality down as low as I can and see if it can't keep up with the streams. But I'm on the mobile hotspot off of the phone that have the camera on. So once the camera is running, this doesn't really keep up. But I'll figure that out later.
Yeah, does the camera on that one work? Because you might be better off to run the video off of that one and run the chat off of the one you're using the hotspot on. Invert the two.
Yeah, the video quality isn't very good. Granted, I'm on the flip side of this phone. I don't know. I'll come up with something.
We'll work on it.
Tell them about Sundays now.
I'm busy right now. Between the 3 tractors, I'm always in a rush working on stuff when I get home.
On our live streams.
Yep.
Granted, I don't work as much as Nate, so I'm not saying I'm better than him.
We all have our moments.
Yep. So I don't know if I'm going to get around to that anytime soon, but like Kathy said, I'd at least be a backup. I don't know if you're gonna have me do streams by myself. I'd be a little embarrassed to be by myself. In fact, I'm kind of surprised no one was asking me questions on what I was up to or anything like that. And I don't know if I missed anything in the chat. I'm kind of sorry I might have missed anything. I'm gonna get going. So thanks for having me on here.
Willie, we'll work on it.
Yep.
You know, it just takes a little bit of practice. So just like anything else, the more you do it, the better it'll get.
Thanks for being a backup.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all Friday. Probably. If not, I'll find somebody to do it. Y'all have a good one. Y'all just bring it.
Thanks for having us, Stacy, and thanks for everybody coming in.
Now, I think Horse messaged me. Is Stacy